Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Uncovering Your Inner Power. I'm your host, Jill Ripley, and today's episode is a really special one because I'm bringing you something that I didn't just learn about, I experienced. I recently had the opportunity to attend a conscious connected breathwork session at Prakriti Healing, and I'll be honest, I didn't fully know what to expect going in, but what I experienced was powerful. Through a combination of movement, music, and circular breathing, I felt energy move through my body in a way that was hard to put into words. There was release, there was clarity, and by the end of the session, I felt this sense of lightness, almost euphoric. So today I've invited the incredible Tara McCarthy, the practitioner behind Prakriti Healing, to help us understand what's actually happening during these sessions, how breath can unlock stored emotion, and how we can use it as a tool for healing. If you've ever felt like you're holding on to something you can't quite explain, this conversation's for you. Tara, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to share this with everybody today.
Oh, I'm so excited too, because I tell people all the time the breath is the doorway to the divine. And for someone who has never heard of conscious connected breath work before, how would you explain it in simple terms?
Right. I would just say that it is a guided breathing technique where you are purposely changing your breathing pattern to influence how you feel emotionally, mentally, physically, and even spiritually. So it's a kind of like a four-part component. So it's a open mouth, relaxed jaw, diaphragmatic, and connected type of breath work. So I can dive in a little bit more of what that means if that's what you like.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to talk a little bit about the experience, right? Because it's all an experience, but it does
Right.
something to your body other than just going through the motions. So I'm sure there's chemicals that get moved around the body with this type of experience too, right?
Absolutely. So what you're actually doing when you're doing this style of breath work, by this kind of rhythmic open mouth, we're purposely dropping our CO2 levels. So what that does is kind of takes the front part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is the executive part of the brain, like the thinking brain, the planning brain. So it kind of turns that offline for a little while. So it kind of slows the oxygen down there and then kind of lights up the limbic system, which is where memories, emotions are stored. So that's where the emotion and all the different sensations come up.
Nice. Yeah, that's so I knew that there was more to it than just
Mhm.
just feeling good. What drew you personally into this work? Was there a moment where you realized how powerful it was?
Yeah. So when I attended my first group breathwork session, I really had no idea what I was going to do. I hear that quite a lot actually when people come to the sessions. They're like, I don't know what to expect. So when I went to my first session, I had no idea what to expect. And I had a really big emotional release, which was really good for me at the time in my life. But I always tell people too that doesn't necessarily have to happen during your session. So anything could really come up. But I had a really big emotional release that I needed. And it really opened me up to just myself, my feelings, my emotions. And then I actually didn't want to do it again after the first time I did it because I was like, wow, that was a lot, right? A lot came up. But then I went on to doing more breathwork sessions and then became a practitioner.
So people don't understand the body holds everything, right? The body
Mhm.
doesn't forget. There's a book, it's called The Body Keeps the Score. And all the traumas, all the experiences, all the letdowns, all the joys, everything is stored in our body and we can get stuck. And I'm sure you know there's like knots here and there as you are also a massage therapist. You feel the knots that are
Mhm.
stuck in people's bodies. And the breath gets to those deeper. I think and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that massage on the surface level smooths out some of that stuff, but the breath is deeper inner work where you're actually unleashing. the stuck energy.
Right. There's a term that during our training we like to say, it's like cleaning out the basement. So the
Yeah.
breath, like, yeah, as you get going, it's like you're kind of breathing into these places in your body are opening up as the breath is moving. So most of us have parts in our basement we probably haven't cleaned in a long time. So same with the body. Just kind of get right in and clean it out.
Yeah. So I want to start with my experience because it was
Yeah.
intense in a good way. We started with movement before the breathing. We danced and it
Yeah.
was fun. And
It was
like you
fun.
said, nobody dances anymore. Why
Right.
is that step so important?
So it's kind of like a warm up, right? And you get into the body a little bit, you move around, and it's really fun, like you said, and it kind of gets everybody out of that anxious place too of, what's to come or things because I probably had just gone over the introduction, a little bit of the demo with the breathing and it can be a little overwhelming at times. So the dancing's really helpful with getting people like kind of out of their heads and into their bodies and just have a little fun for a few minutes and open up and warm everything up, and then we can get down and breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I felt the release of energy that I couldn't necessarily name emotionally. How
Mm.
does breath work access things we're not consciously aware of?
That kind of goes back to what I was saying before. It's with that breathing and the CO2 levels changing in the body, like you brought up, the chemistry of the body changing, um, the
Mm,
the the gases, the blood gases, the pH. So with all that change in the body, it's allowing the front part of the brain to kind of go offline and light up the limbic part of the brain. So
yeah,
that's where emotions and memories are stored. So as you're doing that, we're not thinking about anything else really at the time.
right, right.
So that's where the release comes up.
Yeah. So for the person who's done years of talk therapy but still
Mm,
feels stuck, would you recommend this as a complement to therapy like that?
absolutely. Yeah, I think because talk therapy is great and I respect all of that and myself have done it. But sometimes I think you just kind of could possibly just kind of keep talking and well, I feel this way. I'm talking about it, but I still know I feel this way. So I feel like with the breath work, how it complements is it really opens everything up.
Yeah, it definitely opened things up for me. And I don't know if you remember, at one point I really got into the my rhythm of the breathing with the open mouth, and I envisioned a hot air balloon, like the open wide openness of the balloon at the bottom, breathing into it and letting it go, and breathing into it and letting it
Yeah.
go. Do you see other people when they're in this experience tailoring it to what feels good to them?
Oh, yes, 100%. And I'm really big on that is I tell people it's really about how you feel. Go to your pace in your level. You're in control of the session the whole time. I don't push anybody too far, but I have everyone have their own rhythm, stay at their own rhythm that's comfortable for them.
Yeah. Is conscious connected breath work safe for everyone?
It's not, unfortunately. So there's certain people who might want to stay with it. Anyone who has like uncontrolled high blood pressure, any cardiovascular issues, any mental health concerns, pregnancy or high risk pregnancies. Um, I think people with asthma can do it. I always suggest they bring their inhaler and they just go slow.
Yeah. Have you ever had someone have an asthmatic episode
I have
in
not.
session?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Good.
Yeah,
That's
but
good.
it is good to know because at the big, I send out when everyone signs up for a session. I usually always send out an intake form, and there's certain questions that they have to answer. And if there's ones where there's a section where it does say the contraindications, so there's a little bit more information that they have to fill out there before I have them come.
Good. Now, what would you say to someone who feels nervous about trying it for the first time?
I would just say you're in complete control of your session at all times. And to any time, if you feel uncomfortable, you can stop. You're going to be in a place that's supported and safe, but you're in control the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
After,
you have the control of that, the gas pedal. I like to say, like If you want to go a little bit faster and harder, you can. If you want to pull back, you can. I always watch people as part of facilitation. My eyes are on everyone. And if I can tell that someone might be pushing a little too hard, I do ask them to pull back.
Good, good. Now, can people practice this on their own, or is it important to be guided, especially in the beginning?
Right. Especially in the beginning. Yes. I do suggest that they can do it like 10 minutes on their own. But to go into a deep session, I do suggest that you kind of be practicing probably about a year or so before you dive into it, maybe on your own for over like an hour, well, 45 to 55 minutes.
Yeah, there was a lot to it. So I think for me personally, I would want to be guided. I think that it feels more easy going. Like you don't have to think about it when you have something. It's kind of like when you do a guided meditation, and you don't have to think about how you're going to move forward in the meditation. I think
Right.
having you guiding me through this session, I didn't have to think about what was the next step.
Right. Because it's like I'm there watching and supporting you through whether it's, physical or emotional, adjusting the body as needed in case, as I'm watching the breath, if there's any interventions that need to happen as far as moving you up. So I guess my point is that knowing someone's there to support you. So your body's allowed to go to these places that it usually doesn't go to on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, after a session, what should someone expect in the hours or days that follow?
Right. This is a really, really good question, an important one also, because I do believe that the integration is just as important as the work that was done, in that room or in that 45 minutes. So people can still, it can last about up to 7 days. So emotions can still unfold. People may be really tired. They may have a lot of energy. Some people may have sleep issues, or some people might not feel anything. Everyone's so different that it's hard to really say, but those are the common things that I've heard. And I do check in with people probably about 2 days later and let them know that they can call me with any questions. If they're still feeling if they're feeling a little anxious or a little too out there, then we can figure out a way to work together to kind of make them feel a little better and bring them back down to their body a little bit.
Nice. Now, you offer different types of sessions too, right? You offer private, but also group. Is that correct?
Private, I do, yes. So I try to I can do privates anytime, but from group sessions, I probably do like 1 to 2 a month, one at my space, and then I kind of like to get out into the community and do them around the area.
That's excellent. This was such a powerful conversation. And honestly, it's one of those experiences that's hard to fully understand until you feel it for yourself. If something in this episode resonated with you, if you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like there's something beneath the surface that you just quite can't access, I would really encourage you to explore this work. Tara offers conscious connected breathwork sessions through her studio, Prakriti Healing, where she creates a safe, guided space for you to move, breathe, and release what your body has been holding on to. Whether you're brand new to this or already on a healing journey, this is such a powerful tool to have in your toolbox. I'll be linking her services in the show notes so you can check it out and see what feels aligned for you. And as always, if you're enjoying this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you shared this episode with someone who might need it. Tara, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
I
you so
really
much.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you
And
very much.
I appreciate you very much. And thank you all for being here. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I truly honor you for being here and for choosing to do this deeper work. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to stay connected. You can sign up for my newsletter at empoweredbythestorm.com/newsletter. And when you do, you'll receive a free copy of my How to Love Yourself workbook as a thank you. My book, Empowered by the Storm, is also available on Amazon if you'd like to go deeper into this work on your own time. And if you're feeling called to more personal support, you can visit my website to explore private coaching and see if it feels like the right next step for you. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, trust your journey, and remember, your healing matters.